I want to really touch on white privilege or white supremacy for a second. I really want to touch on white supremacy or white privilege very briefly, very quickly, because it's something that I need to get off my chest. Now, what is white privilege? White privilege is when a white man, a white woman, a white person, right? Not any old white bum off the street, but those ones who have been born into wealthy families and are basically spoon-fed. And the only thing that they've achieved is they've inherited anything that their family has given them. The white privilege is where any white person, any Caucasian person can get more privilege out of this world than, let's say, any colored person, any black person, any Spanish person, any Chinese person, any Asian person. A white person dominates. And we all know when living in white countries, such as North America, they don't want to see no black person or Chinese, Asian person rule their country. But you have to remember that they came here and took land from people whom were here much, much before them. These white people came from Europe. And these white privileged people, they can buy big houses. They can buy all the fancy cars. They can do whatever they want in this world. But how about us, people of color, Asian people, all other ethnicities? What can we do? Suffer on the street. But what can they do? What privilege do they have? They have the whole world. You must understand, I'm not talking about all of white people, but I am talking about the vast majority of them. I'm talking about these white privileged people, these white supremacists who have their life so fantastic. Their finances are fine. Their everything in their life is so fantastic for them. And there hasn't been a day in their life where they've ever suffered. Hasn't been. Because they know not to suffer. They know not suffering. They only know their sweet little perfect life. This is what white privilege is. That a white person can get college or go to university instead of a black person, or instead of an Asian person, or instead of a Southeast Asian person. This is what white privilege is. White privilege means that a white man can become prime minister of a country, and they'll deny the brown man or the black man. This is why personally I would never ever run for any prime minister or any president for any country, ever. Because I know that if I were to do so in a white country, they would crucify me just like Jesus Christ was crucified on the cross 2,000 plus years ago. You have to remember, some of these white privileged persons envy us like devils. Some of these white privileged people envy black people. They envy us so much. Even the little we have, even the little that we have, they want to take that away and destroy us. They have the whole world, these white devils, these white privileged supremacists. The whole world belongs to them. But the little that we have, the little that I have, they want to take that away from me and destroy my life forever. You have to understand, when you're living in a white country, an English-speaking country, you understand how I'm speaking to you through this video? I'm speaking their language. I'm speaking English. I speak English. What does English mean? It's a white person language. Yeah? I wasn't born in India. I wasn't born in China. I wasn't born in Africa. I wasn't born in the Middle East, but I was born in North America. Unfortunately, I was born in North America, where I had to grow up in. I've gone through millions and millions of incidents where I've been discriminated against. And living in this country, living in North America is like living in hell, my brothers. Living in North America is like living in hell. Because if every day when the sun comes up and you wake up in the morning, you have to deal with these white supremacists all around you, you have to deal with these racist white devils all around you, what's the even point of being in North America anyway? What's the point of it, fellas? I don't see a point to it, unless you want to sit down in a hell. But if a white person can get to university and college instead of a black person, instead of a Negro, or instead of an Asian person, or instead of an Indian person, or instead of a Hispanic person, if a white person can get to university, they can go to the finest universities, and we Negroes are out on the street trying to sell drugs to just to survive. How is that fair? We Negroes, Hispanics, Indians, Asians, whatever, are on the street selling drugs and selling, you know what, just to get by. And the consequences for us doing that just to survive is jail time. And we lose our lives over it. But what are these white people doing? They're going to the finest universities in North America. They're graduating and they have the whole world to them. Let me tell you something, you these white supremacist people who may be watching this clip right now. I'm going to tell you something. You can have your world. Have it all. Because you know what? We never wanted any part of this world to begin with. We never wanted any part of this world to start. And now since we're here, we don't want any part of this world. So you can keep your kingdom, keep your little world, keep your little university, keep your little college, keep your little world and stay in it. Because we won't be taking part of it whatsoever. Understand that? Understand that. White privilege is when a white man can drive by in his car past the police, past the white police. And the police won't do nothing. But when a colored person drives past the white police, he gets shot down the moment the white police see him. How is that fair, living in a white country? Hell, even if a Negro like me was to take myself to India, I wouldn't get shot down by no Indian cops. That's for sure. Or even if a Negro like me was to take myself to China and drive by some Chinese police, a Negro like me wouldn't have get shot down by some what? Chinese cops. Even if a Negro like me was to take myself to Japan, I would not have gotten shot down by some Japanese cops. But only in America could a Negro like me get shot down and killed and lose his life on the dead of day, passing some white cops who don't like me just because of the melatonin in my skin, just because my skin color. Think about that. Not just me, any Negro, any Hispanic. The stigma is real in this game. So think about white privilege and think about it clearly. Think about it clearly. Because it is an issue that will not go away and will not dissipate. Fake ass white people think that they can go to church and I'm gonna believe them. Those white people are the most evilest, cruel, devilish people on earth. What the fuck, yeah? I'm supposed to believe you because you step inside of a church? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, man. I don't trust no Caucasian person. And most of these white devils, I ain't saying all. I ain't gonna say all, but most of them envy us like the scum of the earth. They envy us. This is why Jesus Christ of old was crucified. It's because they envied him. They envied what he did. Now that same curse is upon us as a race. And not just Negroes, Hispanics, and the like. You gotta think about that, bro. Think about that, man. Shit is deep. You gotta think about that clearly with your mind. Why do police always pull you over? Why do police always target you? Why are police always the ones, those white cops, always the ones to grab out their guns and shoot us down? Gotta fucking think about that.